Tonight on The Late Show, Dave's in the audience with Stump the Man. Plus, David Duchovny and the top 10 things overheard during George W. Bush's vacation. First, your local news.
And cue him.
A plane has crashed tonight in southwest Missouri. Also, visitors to Marian Days hope today's deadly violence won't be the most lasting impression. We hear from victims of the tornado that flattened neighborhoods in Florida, and a nationally known college basketball coach resigns in a scandal. KUAM News at 10 is next.
Dang it.
Clearance at your Midwest Ford dealer.
Roll D. Check it.
Police gather evidence from the deadly violence at Marian Days as visitors to the Carthage Festival share a message of peace. Hear why these two men rode bikes from California to Girard, Kansas. And as Arnold Schwarzenegger hits the campaign trail, 4 staters weigh in with their opinions.
Take it. Stand by camera 1. Zoom. Whoa, easy. And you're up.
A plane has crashed tonight in southwest Missouri.
Clear.
Good evening, this is KUAM
right,
News at 10. I'm Dow. Quick breeze off tonight. A breaking news story tops our first 7 minutes. The Missouri Highway Patrol tells us a single-engine, single-occupant plane crashed in Anderson around 8:20 tonight. The patrol says no one died in the crash. The Anderson mayor says the crash site is an open field just southwest of the high school. And he says the Highway Patrol has blocked off all access to that area. Look for more details tomorrow on KUAM News.
And cue him.
People attending the Marian Days Festival are trying to keep a violent incident from overshadowing the peaceful purpose of the event. Around 5:30 this morning, a group of 15 to 20 young adults became involved in a fight at the center of the Vietnamese Catholic festival, the Mother of Co-Redemptrix Seminary. A 22-year-old Wichita man died from a stab wound to the chest. 3 other people were treated and released from a local hospital. Police say those involved in the fight were from Wichita and Oklahoma City. Officers took around a dozen people in for questioning and say they are both witnesses and suspects.
And cue him.
The handful of people involved in the fight are a tiny fraction of the estimated 60,000 Vietnamese Catholics attending Marian Days, and most want nothing to do with violence. KUAM's Tim Seeliger joins us live in our Joplin newsroom with reaction from some in the Vietnamese community.
And he's up.
Well, I spent the afternoon talking to people at the religious festival. And all of those I spoke to wanted it known what happened this morning should not be a reflection on the thousands that come from all over the world for spiritual renewal.
Take it.
Basically, our society labels them pretty much as thugs.
You're right.
And I know, not just me, but a lot of our friends go through this together.
And cue him.
Now, those I spoke to say the incident does not deter them from coming back. It's just another reason to get closer to God.
Tim Seeliger in our Joplin newsroom. Thanks, Tim.
Two
suspects in a southeast Kansas murder now face more serious charges.
My bad.
The charges stem from the murders of Samuel Yanofsky and April Milholland, both of Caney, Kansas. Their bodies were found in Independence on June 13th.
And you're up.
22-year-old Nathaniel Hill now faces 1 count of capital murder, which would make him eligible for the death penalty if convicted, as well as 1 count of premeditated murder and 1 count of rape. 20-year-old Sylvester Jones is now charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of rape. Previously, he'd been charged with drug crimes and aiding a felon. The Attorney General's office is prosecuting that case.
And cue him.
The governor of Kansas has appointed a 4-state man to a committee that will look into the possibility of legalizing casino gambling. A.J. Mangeni of Frontenac is one of 15 people who will serve on the panel. It'll meet over the next 4 months. Governor Sebelius has called for expanding gambling in Kansas to raise more money for state programs. The Missouri department that tries to help business succeed plans to reorganize. The Department of Economic Development will combine some divisions and eliminate a toll-free hotline for people with questions about starting a new business. It's the result of $23 million in budget cuts over the past 3 years. Missouri government number crunchers are glad to see that tax revenues were up slightly last month.
You're up.
After adjusting for a change in the schedule for mailing tax refunds, the July tax collections grew by about 2% compared to the previous year. The state budget director says the increase is good news, but not wonderful news.
And cue him.
Oklahoma lawmakers say there's been progress cleaning up part of the Tar Creek Superfund site. Today they toured the 54-acre McNeely project to see how the pilot program is progressing. Contractors have been dumping mounds of chat into open pits. They hope they can use what they learned to help the cleanup of other parts of Tar Creek. Contractors are ahead of schedule, and the project should be finished in the next 2 months.
And cue him.
Well, our temperatures are about what you'd expect for August, but what we need right now is rain. Dave Pylant has our first 7 check of the forecast.
More than 5.5 inches below normal in rainfall for the year. There is some rain in the weekend outlook. For now, let's check out our Friday night. It is warm out there, still well into the 70s. 77 at the North Middle School in Joplin, Pittsburg 79, 75 in Carthage. Parsons currently at 80, Liberal at one of the cooler locations, 73 degrees this evening. Pretty warm though, most of us into the mid-90s and some upper 90s out there today. Tomorrow it will be another warm day, temperatures around 67 degrees, about 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, warming up to 93 for the high on Saturday. That rain in the forecast is in there late Saturday night and on Sunday, and it does look like next week the weather may not be quite as hot as what it was this week. We'll have details in a few minutes.
Thanks, Dave.
Roll it. And take it.
NASCAR gets ready for a road race at
G
Watkins Glen.
package.
Here's Richard with our first 7 sports.
And roll G. And take it.
The NASCAR boys took a run on the road course today at Watkins Glen, setting the starting grid for Sunday's Sirius at the Glen. Jeff Gordon has won 4 of the last 6 races at the Glen, and he claims the pole for this one with a record lap of 124.58 miles per hour. Rookie Greg Biffle claims the outside pole half a mile per hour behind Gordon. Mark Martin and Tony Stewart make up the next row. Rusty Wallace will be 5th, and Joplin's Jamie McMurray will start 29th. The Royals' all-time strikeout leader returns to give his old and new club a boost. Royals Devil Rays highlights when I see you in sports. Dow.
And take it.
In Health Watch, concerns a foreign student might have brought measles to a university campus.
Take it.
A Japanese student visiting Oregon State University became sick, and the university is waiting for blood tests to determine if the illness is measles.
Going to turn to
Health
camera
officials
1.
are trying to get a hold of anyone who might have been in contact with the student to make sure they've been immunized. During the school year, Oregon State students must provide proof they've been vaccinated for measles, but that's not the case for the summer session.
And cue him.
It was a long, hot ride, but they say it was worth it. Cork Snyder and Brian Winesek reached Girard, Kansas today, finishing a 2,000-mile bike ride to raise funds and awareness about organ donation. The 2 California teachers were greeted by several local transplant recipients. He got the idea for the ride when one of Snyder's students needed a kidney transplant. They say they wanted to make a difference, and because they love to ride, they thought this would be a great way to do it.
G. Take the bite.
And this was an opportunity to really make a difference and do something we love to do, because we've done long rides before, like from Canada to Mexico. We've done things like this before, but we've never done it for anybody's enjoyment but our own.
And cue him.
Snyder says they chose Girard as their final destination because his aunt lives there, to raise between $7,000 and $10,000, which they'll donate to the Midwest Transplant Network. The network helps those who need transplants find donors.
And music.
Those are tonight's top stories in the first 7 minutes of KOAM News at 10. Coming up, a recall effort involving elected officials in the 4 states.
Take it.
Plus, Arnold Schwarzenegger takes some hits from critics while supporters pump him up in the California recall race.
Take it.
And gun sellers in Iraq pay with their lives.
Roll it and take it.
Live from KOAM TV.
One's a desk, two's an insert, shots are good.
Dow Quick. Sakis, meteorologist Doug Heddy with Skywatch 7 Weather, and Michael Hayslip Sports.
After 4 generations of service to...
You can eat great even late.
And Kim.
A recall effort's underway in one southeast Kansas community. A group of people in Galena, Kansas have put together a recall committee targeting city commission members Marian Days and Daryl Shoemaker. Allegations they violated the Open Meetings Act apparently prompted that recall effort. And the Cherokee County Attorney says those allegations are enough, even though charges aren't being pursued against the council members.
Two's up.
The recall committee turned in petitions to the county clerk. The committee must make some corrections before they can be circulated. If the committee collects enough valid signatures, a recall election would be scheduled.
And take it.
Campaigning is already moving into high gear in the other recall election. In Nation Watch, Manuel Gallegos has the latest on the effort to oust the California governor and on one high-profile candidate.
And take it.
California recall candidate Arnold Schwarzenegger hit the campaign trail in familiar territory. As a former fitness advisor to the White House, he was right.
Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And take it.
The campaign is the subject of today's KOAM Interactive question. We ask, would Arnold Schwarzenegger be a good governor? So far, 60% of respondents say yes, he would. 36% say no, he would not, and 4% are unsure. To participate, log on to KOAMTV.com.
And Kim.
100 days after the end of major combat, President Bush says the U.S. is making progress in Iraq, but he mourns the loss of American lives.
Take it.
In World Watch, 56 American soldiers have been killed in Iraq since May 1st, and the fighting continues.
Take it.
Today, troops opened fire on Iraqis, removing weapons from the trunk of a car.
Stand by camera 1.
U.S. forces have positioned snipers around a market after hearing that weapons and ammunition were sold there every Friday. 3 Iraqis were killed and others wounded, including a child.
And cue and music.
Now, Florida's not such a paradise right now.
Take it.
A tornado destroys hundreds of homes in South Florida. I'm Elizabeth Sanchez in West Palm Beach, and I'll have that story coming up.
And cue him.
First, we might see storms this weekend, but we hope they won't be severe. Dave Pilot has the forecast next.
Roll it and take it.
At Old Sullivan Furniture Factory.
Now, Dave Pilot
Stand by
with your
camera
Skywatch
2.
7 weather, featuring Doppler 7000.
And cue him.
Well, a chance of rain in the forecast for late tomorrow night. Not an overwhelming chance of rain. We will probably see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms around here Saturday night and into Sunday, but I don't think everybody's going to see rain. Everyone, or at least almost everyone, would like to see rain, I think. Been pretty dry and hot out there. Let's take a look at Sky 7 over Joplin on a Friday night. People going about their business with a summer vacation winding down the next few weeks. A lot of people will be headed back to school, so making the most of a quiet Friday night, at least as far as the weather is concerned. There's an almost full moon. It'll be full on the 12th. I believe that's next Tuesday. Well, here's what's going on with a satellite picture. I'll show you some cloud cover that has strayed on over into the 4-state area, broken clouds through the 4 states with a little passing shower here that snuck in through the far western part of our viewing area. In Joplin, officially at the airport, partly cloudy skies, 78 degrees, light east winds, the barometer at 29.97, humidity at 64%, and a Friday night forecast calling for quiet weather, with temperatures dropping right on down to about 67 for the low. That'll be early in the morning on Saturday, but from there we'll warm right on up to about 93 tomorrow with a partly cloudy sky and light winds. That chance of rain not until more than likely after midnight on Saturday, and a Sunday forecast only a 30% chance of rain up to 90, but maybe a little better chance of rain on Monday. And we are looking forward to temperatures starting to cool off just a little bit. Instead of those mid and upper 90s, most of us will be right around 90 next week. So slowly but surely the weather is going to be cooling down.
The rain, if we get it, may be too late for some lawns. There's a lot of farmers. And
Yeah, it has been dry. I've been hearing a lot of that. Yeah. Believe me.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
A cruel trick by Mother Nature flattened the South Florida community, but spared lives. Elizabeth Sanchez reports from Palm Beach County.
Take it.
It came out of nowhere, a powerful tornado that caught forecasters and especially residents by surprise.
Back together.
Yeah, that's
Elizabeth
fine. Doesn't matter
Sanchez,
which.
CBS News, West Palm
And
Beach.
cue and music.
Scenes that are too familiar for a lot of 4-staters. Now, Baylor's
Stand by
basketball
H.
coach resigns after a tumultuous
Roll
and
H.
tragic summer.
Take it.
And scores
Stand by
are
VR.
sinking lower and lower on day 2 of the Stables Casino Classic. Richard's next with sports.
Roll it and take it. All right, stand by. Camera 1. And you're up.
Good evening. A day after one of his players was laid to rest, Dave Bliss has resigned as Baylor head basketball coach. Bliss stepped down after school investigators found he provided 2 players with improper financial aid and that his staff didn't properly report failed drug tests. The investigation began after basketball player Patrick Dennehy was reported missing about 2 months ago. Dennehy's body was found last month, and former teammate Carlton Dotson is charged with the murder. Athletic director Tom Stanton has also resigned, and school president Robert Sloan has put the program on probation for at least 2 years.
Take the bye.
I am the head coach. And I am accountable for everything that goes on within my program.
9 seconds, that responsibility. Stand by 1.
I accept that responsibility.
And cue him.
Baylor will not participate in any postseason tournaments next season, and current players will be allowed to transfer. Joplin native Robert Russell entered round 2 of the Stables Casino Classic with a share of the lead. But despite shooting comfortably under par today, he slipped backward on the leaderboard. And it's looking like golfers will have to shoot way under par to have a chance at victory this weekend. Hey, why walk Peoria Ridge when you can ride it in style? Neosho's Tyler Smith added at the last second yesterday after someone dropped out. Definitely playing like he belongs there. Great approach shot, sets up a par on 10. He's partnered with Russell, who knocks down the 10-footer for birdie on 14. Russell shoots 2 under par today. Jake Reeves also tied for the lead entering the day, drops the 9-foot birdie. He shoots a 5 under 67 on the day, but the round of the day belongs to Joseph Alfieri. Gets the chip to sit down just 4 feet from the pin on 10. That sets up the putt for birdie. He shoots an 8 under 64, best round of the tournament so far. Also in red numbers today is Erie native Travis Hurst. Drops the bird on 10. He cards a 3 under 69. After 2 rounds, Alfieri is your leader at 13 under. Reeves 1 shot back. Jeremy Langley and John Paul Hebert are third. Russell is 5th, 4 shots off the lead. The cut for the weekend rounds winds up being 2 under par. Neosho's Tyler Smith is one of those headed home, but he's glad he got the unexpected chance to compete.
Roll G. Well, I was in jean shorts and watched Robert tee off, and in the matter of about 3 minutes, I had changed in the parking lot, and I was on the tee box hitting. So it was a change of events, I'd say. I just feel fortunate to be able to get in the tournament and play with Robert Russell and Alex. It was an experience watching Robert play. He's an incredible player, and I'm just very fortunate enough to get in the tournament.
Thank you.
Third round action tees off tomorrow morning at 7:30. 4 years ago, the Royals shipped Kevin Apier off to a playoff contender. Tonight, KC's all-time strikeout leader returns to help the boys in blue with their own playoff push, and he'll get extra run support in his debut, with Mike Sweeney returning to the lineup after a 2-month absence. Things not off to a good start for Apier. Aubrey Huff doubles down the line. Antonio Perez scores to make it 1-zip D-Rays in the first. Same inning, Rocco Baldelli singles right back up the middle. Huff makes it 2-zip D-Rays, scoring on the play. Apier does settle down with some help from the D. Angel Baroa charges on the high chopper, bare hands, gets the incredible out to end the fourth. Apier pitches 5 innings, a 5-hit ball, but the Royal Bats do nothing. Tampa takes it 4-zip. Cards hosting the best team in the majors, Atlanta Braves. First inning, Gary Sheffield has liftoff. Solo shot makes it 1-0
Armstrong
Atlanta.
was supposed to help me set up my own cash tonight so I can have the ones I want.
Jeff Facero's
go do a board.
He tees off as well.
Oh, wait.
2-run homer makes it 3-0.
Score a video the board, my bad.
In the 6th inning, Albert Pujols doubles, extending his career-high hit streak to 22 games. But Russ Ortiz picks up his NL best 16th win. Atlanta wins 7-2. Rams open preseason tonight in Oakland. Right now it's 7-0 Raiders in the 4th quarter. Madre Hill providing all the points on a touchdown run for Oakland. Kurt Warner 3 for 4, 18 yards with an interception. Mark Bolger 11 for 16 on the night, 104 yards and an interception. And good to hear Webb City's Grant Wistrom notches a sack on the night. So good to see Grant getting off to a good start. Unfortunately, the quarterback's little scattershot tonight, but that's what preseason is for.
You bet, to work out the kinks.
Yep.
We're going to get a tip for beating the heat from chimpanzees. That's next on KOAM News at 10.
You want the most accurate weather forecast?
Hit it. There you go. That's it. Stand by camera 1 and cue him.
While we are accustomed to hot August days here, that's not the case in much of Europe, which has experienced a record heat wave in recent weeks. However, residents at the Dublin Zoo are feeling the heat. The seals, they don't mind. They just hang out by their private pool.
What's the matter?
The elephants, well, they're coping by getting hosed down several times a day, but the chimps might have the best approach. They're cooling down with popsicles. We have no idea what flavor chimps prefer, and well, frankly, perhaps we don't want to know.
It's a good life.
Yes, it is.
And they're
Check back with Dave.
And Dave.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, God.
Check of the 7-day forecast. A hot weekend.
Get the wall,
93 tomorrow. Chance of rain late Saturday night and on Sunday.
And they're up.
Don't forget to join us this weekend, and let's make it a great one.
Thank you.
If you see news happening, call KOAM News on your U.S. cellular phone by
what is it, 51? 1. Roll it. Take it.